feeling lazy. I don't want to do this. So let's talk about being lazy in Heroclix. Today's episode is about how not to work hard to get what you want. When I say how not to work hard to get what you want, I'm talking about doing the minimal amount of work for the maximum amount of output, kind of similar to min-maxing, where you spend the minimal amount of points to do the maximum amount of output. Minimal amount of work to do the maximum amount of work is as easy as spending points and having an effect go off for some characters. Some characters have some continuous effects that can really have broad strokes on the game. Two of which recently made a big splash with a really, really intense team that I didn't even think of or see coming. I'm not going to describe it in whole. You're going to have to watch the Meta Lab for that because it's the only time I'm ever going to describe that team. It was disgusting, and the player who played it, Howard Brock, you did a fantastic job of coming up with it, but it needs to get buried. So two of the characters most notable, Turtle. For as simple as 50 points, you pretty much put a stop button on the game. And this isn't like Kid Zoom was a silver bullet to hypersonicers. This is a silver bullet to movement. That's a full-blown action that characters aren't going to be allowed to take in the game. That's pretty much insane. And he is starting to show his face in some top 8s. In fact, he's shown up in a top 4 and a top 2 in recent ROCs or rocks. I'm gonna have to start calling them rocks. I want a rock. You know what? They should play at the beginning of every Super Q. I'm off topic. Turtle, minimal amount of work for maximum amount of output in regards to stopping your opponent from moving. What's worse is you can take this character and start to carry him. Now, what you run into an issue with is if there's 2 turtles on the board, then all of a sudden the game really gets slow and really gets dangerous. So you're kind of hoping that both players are carrying turtles if they're using them. The next character, minimal work, maximal output, is Highfather. In a 300-point metagame, he takes up almost half of your points. Gives you lots of room to work with regards to points, but being on your team means Highfather says your highest point character isn't going to do anything. Now, ever since the errata, this doesn't have the same effect it used to have on one-man armies, so think about that when you're playing him. If you come across a one-man army, you've got to be ready to have a contingency plan. Now, Blind Owl's an interesting one. There are an awful lot of characters who are really good on their second click. Like, stupid awesome. Like, Dr. Spectrum, the Prime. His second click is amazing compared to his first click. And there's characters like Kyle Rayner who wouldn't be mind on being on his third click. And characters like the Star Lab Technician are going to be pretty good on their second click, where she's got some stuff. You know what? I'm going to talk more about her in the next episode, but kind of get the idea where there's going to be characters who aren't necessarily the best on their first click and might be better on their second click. And that's where a character like Blind Owl comes in. Usually with a character like that, you have to push them or eat damage for that, which, how do I put it, is not the optimal way to get to that click. The optimal way to get to that click is to minimize the amount of work. Well, for as simple as an action, in a 300-point game, you have 3 actions. Most games, or most teams are going to have at most 2 attackers in a 300-point game. If you do have 3 attackers, you've got a really big team. And why are you wasting space on characters that need to be on their second click? So pushing them, not the optimal way, because you need to get 2 turns, and then you got a 3rd turn where they're no good. Blind Owl on the first turn can turn around and go, I'm done with this. Now you're where you need to be. So we kind of understand how Blind Owl works in relation to making work easy. So those are just a couple examples of how to not do work and to be lazy to get your effects off. There are more ways in the game in order to do that. And it's just a matter of finding the one that fits your team to fit the best effect. The more overarching effect that you have on the game and the less work that you have to do, the more control you have over the board. Because we're starting to see, and I'm going to talk about this in another episode, a very similar strategy to we see in card games, and it's called a control strategy. And we're going to talk about that in another episode. So in the meantime, think about minimizing your work to maximize the output and doing the absolute minimal work with regards to getting what you want. In the meantime, just remember, guys, practice makes your team better. The opinions and thoughts brought to you in Metafix are not meant for the casual game at the table.
Married with Clix is proudly sponsored by Majestic's Comics, Collectibles, and Games, located in Costa Mesa, California, near the Orange County Fairgrounds. If you don't happen to live in the Costa Mesa, California area, though, you can check out their website, linked down below, majesticccg.com, where you can check out all kinds of stuff to shop for, their regular tournament listings if you happen to live in the area, or if you need to shop, they've always got some Heroclix stuff if you check out both their eBay store, which is linkable in their website, as well as their online store, which I believe should be having product added soon enough. Also, they keep regular articles written by some of the great minds in Heroclix, including Adam Friedman, the 2014 Heroclix Nationals champ, and of course, the owner of the store, Patrick Yabjoko, the 2014 Heroclix Worlds champ, 2014 Team Worlds champion, as well as the 2014 DragonCon ROC champion. Wow, that's quite a year he had last year. I think he's going to repeat it in 2015, right? So, don't forget to check the link down below, or check out the store if you live in the area.